When life moves so fast, sometimes you have to stop and ask yourself what the true purpose of your life is. But we're temporary beings, and this is a temporary world. One day you'll be gone and someone else will sit in your office, speak to your patients, and deliver the same procedures probably better than you. So it is here that you should ask yourself, what makes you you? What's your legacy? When you pick yourself off of the ground. I don't have all the answers or enough experience, but I know that surgery is a meaningful place to start for me. Purpose isn't always something you find. Sometimes it's something you pursue. It comes from within, keeping you grounded to the truth. I can see that you're working things out. You cry. Every tear's a wasted drop. Don't need the rose to hold you up. Don't cry. Oh, please don't cry. Oh, you were constantly working things out. Oh, and you do without making a sound. You try and you're battling life. It's constantly bringing you down. Oh, but I can see that you're working things out. You were constantly working things out. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video from HSTV, and in today's video, as you can see by the video title, this is going to be my experience on doing an elective at the Royal Papworth Hospital. If you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name is Heen Shamaz and I am now a final year medical student at the University of Edinburgh. Now, before you guys get too excited, this is not my actual final year elective. So at Edinburgh Medical School, you do have a 6-week elective period, which usually happens around April, May of your final year. This right now is the summer holidays between my 5th and my 6th year. And if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I'm really interested in cardiothoracic surgery. So I thought there is no better hospital than the Royal Papworth to get a bit of exposure, get a bit of experience, and really see if this career is for me. So today is my first day. I'm going to be vlogging the whole day to show you what exactly happens, and I'll be filming bits and pieces across my 4-week stay so that you can see what it's like. It gives you a flavour of doing an elective at Royal Papworth.
Change my mind to feel something I would, yeah. And no, I don't want you to feel misunderstood, no. It's just that I'm not in the place to give you your way. And maybe I just need the space and the grace to say that I don't have the room for you to be all in it. And I don't think I will later down the road.
Alright guys, so that is actually day 1 complete. The time right now is about 5 PM. I've just changed out my scrubs and come outside. First of all, Cambridge is really hot. I think the temperature at the moment is something like 27 degrees, and Papworth and Addenbrooke's and all these lovely like research facilities, they're on a really beautiful campus, as in this doesn't seem like a hospital. So in terms of what I actually did today, in the morning I went on the surgical ward round with the SHOs, and I think first impressions, yes, like Papworth from the inside is really beautiful. Beautiful on the outside, beautiful on the inside, so that's one thing. Secondly, like their hospital systems and everything is quite similar to Edinburgh, so I didn't feel much of a shock, because this was my first time actually going to a hospital that's not in Edinburgh using a different system. So I was a little bit wary of that, but I'm really happy that I didn't have any issues on that end. So we reviewed a few of the patients, made some management plans. I got quizzed a little bit, which I did know the answers to, so I'm very happy about that. And then afterwards, I actually met some of my mentors, ones that I met from my work in SCTS. So if you have kind of been following the channel, you'll know that I've been quite involved with the Society of Cardiothoracic Surgery in the UK through their student committee, and from that I really got to know a few really good mentors who actually work at Papworth. So I met up with them, we had breakfast together actually, and then after that I went with one of them to theatre. Now it was actually a thoracic surgery that I attended, even though I'm more interested in the cardiac side of things, but regardless I'd say like keep your options open, go for whatever opportunity comes your way. It was a very short, it was just like a pleuritic biopsy, so it wasn't anything too major. And then after that I met up with my supervisor, and he is going to be in theatre all day tomorrow, so I thought that I would go and meet our first patient of the day, who was going to be coming in at 4 p.m, who got admitted to the day surgery ward in preparation for his surgery tomorrow, which I'll be at. So I spoke to him, and it turns out he's having a cabbage, so that will be interesting to see how it's done at Papworth. I have seen a few cabbages in Edinburgh, but nothing else here, so we'll have a look and see how similar it is. But yeah, overall I'd say it was a productive day. I'm kind of easing myself into things, settling in, and so far so good. So you might be thinking, why travel 350 miles from Edinburgh to do an elective specifically at Papworth, when actually Edinburgh itself or nearby centres like Glasgow or Newcastle could also offer a great experience? Well, first of all, Papworth sits right next door to Addenbrooke's Hospital on the Cambridge Biomedical Campus, Europe's largest hub for medical research and clinical care. You've got AstraZeneca, which hosts over 2,000 scientists, and then there's the Victor Philip Heart and Lung Research Institute, home to nearly 400 researchers tackling cardiovascular and respiratory diseases. But back to Papworth itself, the hospital moved to its current building in 2019 and features around 310 beds, including a 46-bed critical care unit, 5 operating theatres, 5 catheter labs, and 2 hybrid theatres for cutting-edge procedures. The hospital deals with local outpatients and emergencies, as well as internationally viewed complex cases, not only relevant to the world of cardiothoracic surgery, but also hosting cardiology, respiratory medicine, and critical care. All things I'm pretty interested in. Papworth is also the UK's largest heart and lung transplant centre, performing more transplants than any other hospital. Now, that is important because I've never seen a heart or lung transplant before. Papworth is also among just 5 hospitals in the UK providing ECMO, which is a heart and lung mechanical device system, to adults with severe cardiorespiratory failure. And if all that wasn't enough, Papworth was also the first NHS trust to be rated outstanding across all 5 domains by the Care Quality Commission, which means that the people who actually make all of this possible are truly dedicated and amazing at what they do. So when it came to planning a short 4-week elective, Papworth had a lot to sell. Not only would I be gaining exposure to cardiothoracics, but also to the world of academia and research. I wanted to form long-lasting professional relationships that shape my practice from an early stage, and I wanted to gain mentorship from the best of the best. That is the short story long of why this slightly longer journey feels worth it. just put in my very first human sutures, and I know that doesn't sound like a huge thing, but for medical students who often don't get to be so involved in theatre, and for someone like me who wants to be a surgeon, that is a really big deal. So I was able to put in a few of the superficial skin sutures during the sternum closure, and yeah, great experience. I feel like suturing on models and bananas and things like that is very different to human skin, so I would encourage all medical students, if you get the opportunity and you've done a bit of practice on mannequins, please just get involved, take up the opportunity. It is definitely worth it. I've actually been in theatre all day today, and I got to see a double cabbage with a left atrial appendage for atrial fibrillation problems, and then I got to see a sternum fixation operation as well. That's the one where I got to help out with the suturing. So it has been a long day. I feel like I've been in theatre a lot, I've been standing a lot, but I think it's well worth it. Right guys, so we have somehow made it to the end of the first week. So today is Sunday the 13th of July, and I wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown of everything that happened this week and my kind of reflections of settling in. I would say I've had a really good first week. I've been able to get involved with lots, I've been able to scrub into theatre. Obviously, highlight of the week is being able to help out with the sternum closure, doing a bit of suturing. But other than that, just getting involved with the team, seeing my familiar faces from SCTS, my mentors here in practice, which is really, really quite nice. So I'd say overall, from a practical point of view, I think Papworth is doing exactly what I hoped it would. It's meeting the expectation of getting involved, exposure, experience. Let's talk accommodation. So I think my accommodation is probably my best decision of this entire trip because it's on site. Yes, it's on the pricey side. I had to pay something around £1,400 for this, but Cambridge is expensive overall, so I would not expect you to pay less than that if you're going like privately. Now, there was a couple more options I was exploring. There was Papworth Water Beach. That is the official Papworth staff accommodation, and they do give you that, but it was like shared toilets, shared kitchens, and the thing that really put me off was it's a 40-minute bus ride, so it's actually really far away. And with surgical specialties, you know, like you got to wake up early, things start, you know, fairly soon in the morning, so you want to be there on time, and I felt like I would have been really exhausted if I'd gotten that accommodation. My other option was to go for Churchill College, which is where my supervisor is associated with, but they were not getting back to me. So I think this was a bit of a God's plan, I guess, where I have been able to secure this accommodation. So this one is, as you've seen, a single ensuite room, shared kitchen, no stove, but I think you can deal with that. It's just I have a bit of a pet peeve where I can't share toilets, and I just need that privacy, so that's why I decided to go for this. But it's been such a good decision because I've not had to leave the hospital campus at all, actually, because there's shops everywhere, there's like convenience stores, there's fast food places. The Papworth Cafe restaurant place is actually really good as well because it's cheap. For staff, you get a 40% discount on all the foods. So for breakfast, you could be paying like £2 for breakfast, and that is worth it. So I feel like if I had gotten accommodation out with of the hospital area, out with a kind of Trumpington, which is the area, I would have spent my money on bus fares and going to get groceries and all this kind of stuff. So I feel like it all adds up. It's not cheap at all, but I would say really recommend something on site if you can. surgical ward round in the morning, actually got to review some patients on my own and feedback to the ward round team, but then more excitingly, I got to scrub into our endocarditis related mitral valve replacement, and I got to help with closing up the chest again. So shout out to my supervisor who is just so supportive with students and trainees. I would love to tell you guys all about endocarditis, but honestly I'm so exhausted. My legs, my legs are numb. You know, the amount of standing you have to do in surgery is underestimated, and especially with cardiac surgery, which seems to go on for ages. Like, your minimum number of hours is 3 for a valve replacement. So yeah, this was quite a complex lady. For those of you who might not know, endocarditis is a bacterial infection that affects the inner lining of the heart, the endocardium, and for some reason it likes to attack the valves, and when you have an attacked valve, then the heart cannot function properly. You go into heart failure and it's not great. In fact, this lady in particular, she ended up having a stroke as well. That's how she came in. So she had a stroke, she had a fall. There's so many things that happened because this vegetation, this bacteria that was inside her mitral valve, like pieces of it were breaking off, making her septic and causing a stroke as well. So endocarditis is no funny game. It is a very serious condition, can have a high mortality rate, but in this patient we did decide to go ahead with a mitral valve replacement because otherwise she would be in heart failure. And you know, she wasn't even that old, so actually it was an interesting case to be a part of.
I'm here when you need somebody. I'm here when you need somebody.
Today was a pretty good day, and it might even be getting even better. Let me tell you exactly what's been happening. So today I was with cardiology, specifically kind of interventional cardiology. I was going to go and see a TAVI, which is a transcatheter aortic valve replacement, but instead I went to see a mitral valvoplasty, which is basically treating someone who has very severe mitral regurgitation, essentially a leaky mitral valve. And the technique that they use is to clip parts of the valve so that it's no longer leaky. And they do this all not open, but instead through the femoral artery. They go all the way up into the aorta and then down into the heart. So that is that. Then after that, I got to help out with putting in a chest drain on the ward. Now, I have seen chest drains before, but this time I got to assist a bit, so that was nice. And then now, quite excitingly, there might be a heart transplant happening tonight. Now, I have always wanted to see a heart transplant, and actually when I was in year 1 or 2, when I didn't really know about the world of cardiothoracics, I actually said that I want to be a heart transplant surgeon. So obviously I have kind of moved a little bit away from that, but regardless, I'm still extremely inspired by how all this miracle happens, and I just need to see it for myself. And I know that Papworth does a lot of transplants, but you never really know when they might happen. So that's why I gave my phone number to the transplant surgeon. He messaged to say that the transplant coordinator will let me know if the transplant is going to happen tonight at around 9:30 p.m. Right now it's 7:30 p.m. So obviously I've just had a long day, I've just come home, but I have this kind of adrenaline in me, and I'm looking forward to this transplant happening because I need to at least see one before I leave Papworth. So yeah, it's the second week of my placement, and I was expecting it hopefully during this week to happen. So it might be happening, it might not happen. Transplants are a bit chaotic in that sense, but they will do the retrieval and see if it's a suitable organ, and then I will keep you updated. Okay, update. It's like 1:30 at night. The heart transplant actually didn't go ahead because the organ was not suitable. However, a lung transplant might be happening tomorrow. But in order for it to happen, they are going to retrieve the lungs from London just now. And transplant surgeon made me an offer. He said, you know, if you want to come with us, I think it'll be a good experience. So yeah, I phoned my dad, had a conversation, and here I am, just going back to Papworth. I did actually get a few hours of sleep, so hopefully I won't be too horribly exhausted. But yeah, let's go and see. update. So it's about 4:15 in the morning and we've made it to Darrant Valley Hospital. I think that's the name of the hospital. We are just waiting for the patient to come in. Now, I didn't really know this about like how transplant retrievals work, but essentially we have to get the organs out ourselves and check over the organs and then take them back to Papworth. Similarly, there's a team from a different hospital here as well to do some of the other organs that this patient has donated. So it's a lot of teamwork, I have to say, especially in the middle of the night. So yeah, we're actually just waiting for theatres to clear up. Again, I'm very used to like bigger hospitals, bigger centres. This hospital only has 2 anaesthetists overnight. So there's been some emergencies that have come in. So we're actually waiting for some theatres to open up and for those anaesthetists to become available before we actually start our operating process. But yeah, I'm here with the team. It's 7 of us, and so far it's just a lot to take in. I think like even in a while they're going to be certifying death and like the family's going to be here. So I think this whole journey is a huge learning process for me as a medical student. So I'd highly recommend it so far. Yes, it's a little bit annoying in the middle of the night, but I think I'm just so high on adrenaline right now that I'm just like really being grateful for every minute that I have here. But yeah, I will keep you updated and try to film as much as I can. It is in moments like these when you realise how fragile life can be. In an instant, everything changes or even ends. But even in that moment, hope can travel through a heart, a kidney, or a lung, giving someone else a second chance. So guys, I actually just saw my first cardiac arrest. I feel like this week has been a week of milestones. I was on lung retrieval and then now this cardiac arrest. These 2 girls got me through it, Sakshi and Martina. This was not their first cardiac arrest, so I feel like they've been more desensitized to it than I have. For me, like, we were actually going home, so Sakshi and I were literally going home when we heard the alarm and people were running. So we decided to follow, as medical students do. And yeah, lo and behold, there is somebody having a cardiac arrest and you've got loads of people gathered round. You know, if you've witnessed a cardiac arrest, you'll know that this is not like a normal team. This is like everyone from everywhere coming to rescue this person essentially. So Sakshi, what did you think of it?
I think it was very well handled. Like the way they did the whole thing, it was really well done. I feel like everyone was very calm as well in that situation. Like they were very, very well trained and they seemed very competent in what they were doing.
Yeah,
but it was exciting.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, I think it's so important in these sort of life-threatening situations to keep the environment calm, otherwise it can get chaotic very quickly. I mean, Martina, you're already a doctor, so have you been involved in many cardiac arrests before?
I have, and I have to say, I have to agree with you. Everyone knows what to do and when to do it. So you have like one doctor on the head of the patient, his only job or her only job is controlling everyone and telling everyone what to do.
Like the team lead.
So yeah, it's like very coordinated to just assure that the patient is gonna be okay. It's amazing.
Yeah. I feel like at medical school you do get like basic life support training, advanced life support training, but then when it actually happens in real life, I felt like I couldn't follow like the pathway properly, even though I'm someone who says that I work well under pressure and all of that. Like when it actually happens, you know, like keeping track of time, like I could not remember how many cycles of 2 minutes we've done or who's giving the amiodarone or who's done the adrenaline. So it is quite an interesting experience. Obviously I can't talk too much about the patient for confidentiality reasons, but yeah, I think it kind of ended all right because we did get the patient back, but we just don't know what the recovery is going to look like. So I guess in some ways, yes, my first cardiac arrest did not result in a death, but equally the recovery can be very challenging for these patients. So thank you girls for getting me through it. They were so nice, checking in on me, and yeah, another milestone I guess ticked off. Hi everyone, the time right now is midnight, and you know what happens at midnight. The transplant surgeon actually messaged me to say that they're doing a heart retrieval tonight, literally in half an hour, from Cardiff. Now, Cardiff is 3.5 hours away, and if you know me, I'm the type of person who doesn't even leave my house after sunset, okay? So when I received this message, I told my family about it, and I was like, you know, these guys are crazy, look at what they're doing, and you know. And my mum was like, "Hey, why are you not going? You should be going." So like my instinctive thought was like, there's absolutely no way I'm going. I've had a long day. I've been out exploring Cambridge all day. You know, I've done what, like 10k steps today. So I was like, you know, this is not it. But then, you know, my mum put a very fresh perspective on it. She was like, you know, there's no one waiting at home for you, so just go. And so here I am, midnight, and I'm just about to leave. And you know, I just want to put out here that when you see someone being successful, for example, when you're watching this vlog and you're like, wow, he's doing all this amazing stuff, I wish I could do it as well. I want you to know that behind any successful person is an army of people. The mentors who give me the opportunities and my family who helps me to make the most of these opportunities are the real heroes here. It's not me. Because I'm telling you, I am this like nervous, apprehensive, doesn't like going out their comfort zone type of person. So alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I cannot be more grateful to the people around me who helped me get to where I am today. So you can hear the adrenaline in my voice, okay? Because, you know, a combination of no sleep and adrenaline, not great. But guys, I'm still gonna be on no caffeine, and you're coming along with me. So make sure to tune back in for part 2 to follow me on weeks 3 and 4 of my time at Papworth.